In this video, I want to cover the job market here in the state of Minnesota. What does it look like in terms of unemployment? What are the fastest growing jobs? What jobs are currently available and how COVID has affected us? So stay right there. Hey everyone, welcome to Minneapolis Living. I'm Nick Sundahl with Acta Homes of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. I cover all sorts of things about Minnesota, moving here, living here, and of course, the job market. If this is the kind of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button. When you're there, ring the bell. That way you're alerted every time I upload new content each week. You can't start off any job video without covering the unemployment rate. The state of Minnesota historically has had a lower unemployment rate than the rest of the country, which we kind of hang our hat on. And that's no different as it sits right now. Now, the latest job report came in August, and as of then, the state of Minnesota had an unemployment rate of 7.4%, by comparison to the rest of the country, which sat at 8.4%. Now, this is down from May when it sat at 9.9%. However, before COVID, and of course we can't talk about the job market without mentioning that, before that the pandemic hit, we were at roughly 3% unemployment, which is actually, it's dangerously low. That means we have more jobs than we have people able to fill them if you take in the other variables. And I'm not an economist nor a jobs guru here, but the state of Minnesota has a very strong market. Now, COVID obviously hit us just as like it's hit the rest of the country. And here in this state, it hit the service industry exceptionally hard, small retailers, as well as events. And those three industries alone have covered the majority of the job losses we suffered. Now, we've also had some surging jobs, and that you'll find in IT as well as financial services, both of which can work remotely. So not surprising that a company such as, say, Target or even healthcare companies would be looking for people to hire even in a remote state. Now, secondly, when it comes to COVID, we are in phase 3. What does that mean? Well, we've been there since June 10th, and phase 3 actually started opening restaurants, bars, and even small retailers to start doing business again. So there may be limitations in terms of how many people can be inside. We do have a current mask mandate, and we are moving into the winter months, which means our patios and outdoor seatings are going to be closing down, well, very soon if they haven't already. So it remains to be seen how it's going to affect our restaurant business as well as events and even small retailers. But because of the mask mandate, we've been able to open up our economy a little bit more. Healthcare is probably the biggest industry that we have here in the state of Minnesota. So it's really no surprise that 4 out of the top 5 fastest growing industries or jobs here in the state are all related to healthcare. And frankly, they work directly to healthcare. And the first one is a home health aide, which is growing at about 130% and makes on a median yearly salary of about $28,000. The number 2 fastest growing is an operations analyst. These are people who take big data, they analyze it, and they then use it to better optimize their company's business dealings. So if you work in, say, logistics, they're taking the data and making sure that product is getting moved from point A to point B in a much more efficient manner. This is growing at about 128%, and the median salary is around $88,000. So not bad salary. Number 3 is a personal care assistant. It's growing at about 126% per year over year, and the median salary is $25,000. Number 4 and number 5 both fall into the nursing category. And the first one is nurse practitioner. And that's growing at about 126% year over year. And their average salary is $107,000. Number 5, a physician's assistant, growing at about 125% year over year. And their average salary, $108,000. So both of which, if you are in the nursing field, we're looking for nurses, and it's the only one of the top 5 in terms of fastest growing that also fall into the top 10 in terms of job openings. So if you're a nurse, come to Minnesota. I've helped multiple people move to the state of Minnesota and find a new home. And if that's you, I would love to hear from you. You can call, text, email, hit me up on social media, but I would love to start the conversation with you. And if you have any comments below in terms of what it looks like in more detail, well, I'd love to hear from you there too. But don't forget to like this video and as well as subscribe. Now I'm going to move on to the most job openings here in the state. Now, of course, because of COVID, this may be a bit skewed in terms of the overall job openings and who lost their jobs, thus giving us more job openings now. And it's no surprise that the number one job opening is retail salesperson. Now, we have a huge retailer here in the state of Minnesota. You might know of it. It's called Target. And year over year, we're expecting about 12,000 retail salespeople or retail sales openings, and that average pay is around $12.50 an hour. The second biggest opening are cashiers. Again, we probably lost quite a few of those within the shutdown, and those are now starting to come back. But we're also looking at about 12,000 jobs year over year, and again, that pays around $12 to $12.50 an hour. Look, I might be singing the same tune, but number three is really follows the same path as 1 and 2, and that's wait staff. Look, a lot of restaurants had to shut down. A lot of restaurants here in the state of Minnesota had to close, which is really sad. But hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more openings and a lot more jobs coming back. And it is predicted to have about just short of 10,000 jobs year over the next 5. And that average salary is about $11 an hour. City of Minneapolis is actually moving to a $12 and perhaps $15 an hour wait staff. And of course, that doesn't include gratuities. Number 4 is customer service. Customer service, we're looking at about 7,500 jobs over the next 5 years per year. And that job pays on an average about $19 an hour. So if you are in customer service, that's not a bad gig if you're looking to move to Minnesota. And number 5, custodial services at about 6,300 jobs a year over the next 5 years. That average hourly pay is about $15 an hour. One of the biggest questions I get is about the job market, so I hope that answered a few of them for you. This is Minneapolis Living. I really appreciate you watching. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.